Well, welcome to Gemini season. Today is May 21st of 2022. The sun just went into Gemini today. We're still in Mercury retrograde right now, which I'm not even gonna get into. Mercury retrograde can kiss it. Why even give it power? So I'm just gonna talk about some Gemini correspondences, and also we'll do a pick-a-pile reading, and we have 3 different piles here. So to work with Gemini energy, it is associated with Mercury. Anything involving communication, adaptability, creativity. Some colors that you could work with that are very Gemini colors are sky blue and yellow. Anything that's bright and cheerful is definitely, and even some pastels, that's definitely a very Gemini type of energy. Some herbs and essential oils you could work with. Definitely lemon. It's nice, happy, bright, and cheerful. It kind of gives you that zesty energy. Cedarwood is a good one. That one's a little bit more grounding. Ylang. Grapefruit, tangerine, and spearmint. You don't have to use all of them, but if one of them jumps out to you that you like and you want to work with it, go for it. Some crystals that you could work with for Gemini season is citrine, this lovely yellow stone here that's a form of quartz, tiger's eye, and then the very, very underrated agate. I never hear anyone talk about agate, but it's such a great stone. It's very protective, it's very energizing, especially in its raw form. I have some cold water agate here. It's really hard to probably see it on video. This I found myself on the beach. And I have some raw purple passion agate. You can't really see the purple really well here. But if you haven't worked with agate before, give it a try. It's a really good one to use. So I will timestamp in the description the different links to the piles here. So for pile 1, we have some amethyst and the Crystal Visions Tarot. For pile 2, we have citrine with the Tarot of the Wild Unknown. And for pile 3, we have some smoky quartz here. And the Druid Craft Tarot. So take as long as you need to think about which one you're drawn to the most. If one of them doesn't make sense, pick the second best pile that you thought of. So I will set some cards to the side here. So if you chose pile 1 and you chose the amethyst with the Crystal Visions Tarot, this will be your reading. And get a few shuffles here. And we'll get 4 more shuffles. Well, hopefully I counted right. I think that's 4. I get so zoned out I lose track of what I'm counting. Alright, what do we have for pile 1? Overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit in reverse. So, It sounds like you've been spending a lot of time alone to the point where you're starting to feel lonely. When you have the Hermit in the upright, it talks about solitude and going within where you're working on something and growing something and developing skills. But in the reverse, it's saying you've been too much of a hermit and you might want to reach out to some close friends. Put yourself out there a little bit. You can take baby steps. You don't have to jump right into a huge party. But it's kind of giving you the heads up that, you know, you're starting to feel lonely and it's time to warm up to friends a little bit. And underneath it, we have the Hanged Man in reverse, which kind of makes sense because the Hanged Man upright talks about being in suspension, like you're just kind of stuck for a little bit, and you feel trapped, but now that it's in the reversed, it's saying you're coming out of that, which makes sense with the Hermit reversed. It's telling you you've been alone too much, you're feeling lonely, time to reach out to your friends and come down from the tree. And let's see what else we have here. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Some of you are ready to jump forward and move into something quickly, and the other person is taking their time and it feels like it's moving way too slow for you. And you're getting frustrated and you're wondering if they're even on the same page as you. Are they slow moving, or are their feelings just not as strong as yours? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. You're having a hard time making a decision. You've got the Seven of Cups. That's a lot of confusion. I feel like you're really confused right now and there's too many choices. I think it stressed you out and caused you to go into hiding because it was just too chaotic. And you decided, well, I don't feel like making a choice right now, so I'm just gonna keep to myself and hide and think about it for a minute, and now you've been thinking too much and you're overthinking. The Wheel of Fortune, so that's the card of fate and letting go and just trusting in the process. So I think, you know, just follow your intuition. Don't think so hard, don't overthink it, just pick one and go with it. You can always move, you can always turn around and reevaluate later. I mean, don't be hasty about it, but, it's just saying instead of overthinking things to maybe take some action towards a goal a little bit more. And we've got the Death card in reverse, which to me looks like you're resisting change. That is just so interesting. There's so many times where I pulled the Wheel of Fortune card next to the Death reversed. So you're pretty much afraid of change, you're afraid to make a decision, but then fate is telling you, no, go ahead, like, it's gonna lead you to where you're supposed to be. Don't resist change, just trust the process and go with it and you'll be okay. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Things are really slow to get off of the ground. And part of it is you're holding yourself back. And you've got the King of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're afraid of a male authoritarian figure being angry with you. Like, maybe you won't have their approval with something that's going on. Like, maybe you're a little bit worried about what the people around you are gonna think, which also explains why you went into the hermit mode here. Let's see, what happened in the distant past that could be leading up to this? Six of Wands. Everything was happy-go-lucky, temperance. You're really kind of holding on to the way that things used to be, with the Six of Wands and the Temperance in that position where it's in the past. Things were great, everything was balanced, you had everything that you needed, something changed. And here we go again. We've got the Six of Cups, which is the nostalgia card. It's in the upright, so that's a positive thing. Like, you're trying to get things back to the way that they used to be. Some kind of chaos happened, and you're really trying to get back to your old self and your old life. You know, and you shouldn't always go back to the old. You want to get back the good things that you like, but this is a new you. This is a new chapter. It's a completely different you. You want to step out of the crummy depression crap that you've been in, but it doesn't mean go back to the old happy you. There's like Happy You 2.0. Go for that one. Four of Pentacles. Like, maybe you're hoarding because you're afraid of losing everything. Page of Swords in the reverse. Somebody's holding back communication from you. And the Queen of Swords in the reverse. You feel that somebody's being really cold and standoffish towards you, and almost even, like, verbally a little bit cruel. And I want to see if there's anything else that this can tell me about pile 1 here. And then I'll pull a couple of oracle cards. Just gonna shuffle these here some more. And in my head, I heard Capricorn, Leo, Taurus. I don't know if that means anything to you, if you have those placements, or if the person that you're thinking about maybe has those signs. Capricorn, Leo, Taurus. The sign really isn't that important compared to the storyline, but it could be extra verification if it lines up with the person that you're thinking about. Two of Swords, you're at a stalemate. It makes sense with the Hermit card. You don't know what direction to go in, you're just really confused and you just don't want to deal with any of it right now. And the Five of Cups in the reverse. So you might have just been grieving over the loss of something, maybe a breakup, a lost loved one, something traumatic happened, but now that it's flipped in the reverse, now you're seeing the positive things that you do have left. Like, you were kind of mourning, like, what you've lost, and now you're counting your blessings again. And you're starting to get back to you, but it's moving really slow. Two of Cups in the reverse, that kind of tells me that there was a breakup that recently happened, and if it wasn't an actual relationship you were in, like maybe you were in the talking stage and you really thought that it was gonna go somewhere and it just fizzled out, and you're really disappointed. But now we have the Knight of Swords. Someone's coming towards you with communication. It could be the person that you just had that fallout with, or it could be somebody new, but either way, it looks like someone's coming towards you with communication soon. And we've got the Magician reverse, so even though this person is coming towards you with communication, the Magician reversed is typically, I really hate overusing the word narcissist. People throw that word around like it's nothing. You know, just because somebody's an a-hole doesn't mean that they're an actual narcissist. However, the Magician reversed, it's manipulation, and it can be about a narcissistic person. So this person that's rushing towards you, go ahead and see what they have to say, but really, really be mindful. I wouldn't say that they're trustworthy. You might get the closure that you need, but I don't think that you're gonna have that happy ending with them that you were hoping for. You'll have a happy ending, but I don't think it's with them. It'll be with someone new, or with being happy by yourself, but I don't think it's with this person. I think you deserve better than who this person is. And I think that they're just, you know, kind of using you and manipulating you, and that's what made you kind of back up and hide and go into hermit mode, because you're thinking, wow, if that person could do this to me, then anybody can, and why should I trust anyone? I don't blame you. You just have to make sure that you come back to you. Feel your feelings, be upset, be hurt, be pissed off, but just make sure that you don't forget about you and who you are. Like, always remember who you are and where you came from. And we've got the Four of Swords in the reverse. Upright, it usually means the hibernation period. Or, like, maybe even somebody's in jail, like, you know, there's something involved with that, but since it's reversed, it's like coming out of hibernation, which makes perfect sense with that Hermit card reverse that I won't shut up about. Page of Cups, you're gonna find peace soon. I think you're gonna chill by yourself for a little bit, honestly. The Star. No, that's the card of optimism and wishes coming true. So you will finally find peace. It's gonna take a while, but just keep looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. So, I'm gonna pull some oracle cards, and as far as if there's a new person coming in or who they are, I don't get that gut feeling like I'm ready to receive that message to tell you yet. Like, it's not meant to be known. But it is encouraging you to give yourself love and attention, and move away from anybody that's manipulative or making you feel like crap. Don't put up with that. And now, I'll pull some oracle cards. These aren't the ones that I made up myself. Honestly, I forgot what the name of these are. I looked at the box and I forgot to keep the name in my thoughts. That's okay, that's not super important. It is, but I don't need to know the name of them to be able to find a message for you, but I do feel bad that I don't remember the name of them. The Secret of Camelot, the Authority of Spirit. Honestly, I'm not even sure what that means. But to me it sounds like going on a spiritual journey, and maybe that's what you need. Like, maybe this is the time for you to reflect and go on a spiritual journey and get to the next level of your higher self. And not focus on people that are draining you. Water Spirit, emotions, memory, and life force. Yeah, I think that's telling you, you know, water is associated with emotion, and it's telling you to pay attention to your emotions. If somebody's not being emotionally fulfilling for you, leave it alone and just focus on fulfilling your own emotional needs. And we have the Green Man, rising, energy surge, and fertility. It doesn't necessarily mean fertile, like, I mean, it could mean pregnancy down the road, but fertile could mean anything, like laying the fresh groundwork for a new beginning. And I think I got in my head, it's telling you to get out in nature a little bit more. I know that sounds really cliche, but if there's a cool place outdoors that you really wanted to go and see, or that you just are really drawn to, it's telling you to make time to take that trip and go see it. You know, get some of your good friends together, or you can just go alone, but do other things to nourish your own self instead of worrying about the piece of crap that did you wrong. Well, so that concludes my reading for pile 1. That was really heavy. That was definitely very heavy, and I wish you healing and a lot of luck with your situation. Easier said than done. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead to pile 2 here. If you chose the Citrine, And the Tarot of the Wild Unknown, this reading is for you. I can already tell all of my pile 2s, y'all are the group that is the most affected by Mercury retrograde. But just know that this too shall pass. I just instantly got that in my head just now, that this pile is especially prone to the annoyances of Merc retro, which can cause communication issues, stupid things with electronics. Sometimes things can go wrong with your car. I really hope not. Minor annoying things that are related to electrical issues. I don't think that it's anything serious car related, but enough to annoy you. So maybe for this particular pile, even though I say don't feed into Mercury retrograde's energy, I think you in particular, maybe it does affect you, and if there's any major decisions that you need to make, wait until after it's over and out of the post-shadow. So it ends June 2nd, I believe, so I would wait a week after it ends, like maybe don't make any final decisions until June 9th. And we're also still in that heavy eclipse energy, which that should clear after about May 30th, so there's quite a few heavy things going on that could be making things frazzled and wonky and all things annoying. Let's see, we'll get 3 more shuffles here. Alright, what do we have for pile 2? Overall energy at the bottom of the deck, the moon is reversed. And that's not even the moon, I think. Yeah, it's... See, this is a brand new deck, so I'm getting used to the artwork, and yes, it's the moon reversed. So, you feel like there's been something hidden from you. I think most people that seek out tarot readings feel that way anyways, because if you're looking for a tarot reading, you're looking for answers, so that kind of makes sense for everybody that's getting the reading. This came up in the last pile, the Wheel of Fortune. In this particular deck, it looks like that cute little owl TP'd somebody's tree in rainbow toilet paper. So normally the Wheel of Fortune has to do with trusting fate and trusting the process. Whatever secret is being hidden from you, stop digging to try to find it, and just go on with your life and do your thing, and if it's meant to be revealed, it will be. I mean, honestly, who cares what the secret is? Just trust fate and trust the process and know that the divine is looking out for you. Now, because of the artwork of the particular deck, you might be dealing with somebody that's got a little bit of mischief and prankster tendencies, that's like a sneaky little ferret or a squirrel and you think it's adorable. That just came into my mind. That's not usually what that card means, but the artwork just looks like an owl TP'd a tree. Very colorful personality, whoever you're thinking about, or it could be you. Ooh, I like this. The Magician. That's like the badass card of the deck, in my opinion. I mean, they're all important and they all have their power, but the Magician, that's the balance of all 4 elements. You're talking about a very evolved and balanced person, and it could be talking about you. Like, maybe there's some shady business going on, but you're above that crap, so don't worry about it. The Magician is also a lot about, alchemy, where you're turning a crap situation into gold, and you're very resourceful, like, you rose from the bottom up, and it's reminding you that you're very powerful. And we've got the Four of Wands. That's excellent. That's the 1111 card. That's like the victory card. Maybe there were secrets being kept from you, and there were a lot of lies and rumors going around, and you overcame all of it, and you rose above, so go you. And now we've got the Five of Pentacles. So something maybe, and that kind of makes sense with it, something in your recent past, like, this person, or maybe this past person that you're dealing with, really made you feel left out in the cold, like, you feel really abandoned. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which to me is new beginning with prosperity, abundance. Maybe you started a new job. It could be maybe you started to get back into nature again, and it's been very healing for you. You began your healing pretty recently, like, you really bossed up and leveled up from where you are where you were versus where you are now. Huge difference, like, you should be proud of yourself. Mother of Wands. So that's like the divine feminine energy that's very creative, and it's like the card where it's a woman that's badass, that's been through a lot, that's very creative, very nurturing, very powerful, and she's totally someone that's there for you, but don't get on her bad side. Good luck. Like, if you mess up and you know that you were in the wrong, you can't fool her. Like, she'll bust you out on your stuff. Or that could be you. It could be talking about you, that maybe that's what you've evolved into from where you once were. Like, maybe you were more of a doormat before, and now you're more like you bossed up. Father of Wands. You could be meeting your next person that's your next relationship. Something, it's definitely screaming fire sign. So they could have Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo placements somewhere strong in their chart. That would be like their sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Yeah, like maybe you're coming into finding somebody that's finally on your level. Like, that's completely different than any relationship you've had before. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse. Well, and then we also have the Devil card here, which talks about temptation. Like, maybe there's some temptations or addictions that you have to overcome, or that they do, before you and this person will be ready for each other. And it might not be to drugs, it might not be to gambling, it could be, like, being addicted to your own old patterns. That's what I'm getting here. Like, you have a certain pattern, that put you in a toxic situation, not saying it's your fault, but you're one of those people that wants to believe the best in everyone, and then you don't see the red flags that are there. And those people that have the red flags, like, they're drawn to you because you have that peaceful, healing energy. Well, and sometimes, maybe easy to take advantage of. So I'm thinking that it's telling you to watch out for being addicted to your own old patterns. Father of Pentacles in the reverse. Your past person could have been somebody that was very money-minded to the point of being greedy or very focused on money, or they possibly could have been an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It could be sun, moon, rising, or Venus, and it doesn't have to be. The storyline trumps anything you know, more than signs or astrology would. That can just be like an extra hint. Let's see, what else do we have for pile 2? That's really weird. So then we have the Mother of Pentacles in the reverse, right next to the Father of Pentacles in the reverse. And then you had the Mother and Father of Wands upright, both next to each other. Like, maybe your parents are earth signs and they had a disagreement with you, possibly, recently, involving something about a relationship, and you're kind of on the outs with one of them or both of them. I'm not positive, it's kind of random, but usually the random thoughts are the best ones that end up being true. I don't know if that's making any sense for any of you. 10 of Pentacles reversed. You're really pissed off because you feel like you almost had it all and then something happened and came crumbling down. 5 of Wands, so that's the conflict card, which maybe that ties into the whole thing about, you know, possibly earth sign parents that you might be having conflict with. Or maybe it's like a money over love or a love over money decision kind of deal. I just don't feel like I have a clear answer on this. I'm gonna pull a couple of more cards and see if there's any other messages that might make sense for pile 2 here. Just gonna get a couple of shuffles with these and see what we can find. So we have the Sun card here. Son of Wands in the reverse. The Hermit in the reverse. I really like that it's a turtle. I don't know how well you can see it. But he's in the reverse, so that's kind of weird. That's what came up in pile 1's reading, too. Okay. And then we have the World card at the end. So we have the Sun, the Hermit in the reverse, the Son of Wands in the reverse, and the World. So that tells me that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you, and an old cycle is closing, a new cycle is beginning. You will get closure on that situation. The World usually, that can mean closure, but the big message in it is a karmic cycle is ending, and a new chapter is beginning. So the gist of it all, I think maybe somebody that had that fire in their chart, you're seeing the truth about them. Or actually, no, the fire sign was the one that meets you on your level. I believe the earth sign dominant person, maybe you're moving away from them because you're seeing the things that are out of alignment, that don't work with you. They're a manipulative asshole, I'll just put it to you like that, or biatch, you know. You get the point. So somebody with the earth dominant is the one that you're moving away from. You're gonna be by yourself for a while, and then the person that's the new one that's gonna come into your life, that's gonna meet you at your level, I believe that they have heavier fire placements. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and it doesn't have to be their, like, traditional sun sign. It can be Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And either way, even if the signs don't line up, the storyline will. You know, it's safe to just let it go with that old person that you know is manipulative. Alright, so that is almost the end of the reading for pile 2. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards here. So this oracle card deck is fairly new to me, so I'm not super familiar with it, but you don't get familiar with it until you actually use it, so... If I look confused, it's because I probably am. Returning home, transition, life between lifetimes, loving welcome. So maybe, you know, you're gonna renew your friendships with old friends coming back and going on some trips, maybe. And we have the mirror, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. So with this, I would highly recommend looking up your North Node in your astrology chart. To find that, you can go to astro.com. There's quite a few websites, you know, free astrology websites. You can just Google it and calculate what your North Node is in, and then look up the properties of that sign, and that's going to give you direction as to what you need to learn in this lifetime versus where you were. And once you look at it, it'll make sense. You'll know about it more than I do. So look up your North Node, see what sign it's in, and read about it. You know, and you can look up videos on YouTube, you know, North Node in Cancer, North Node in Capricorn, for example, and learn about that and see if it makes sense. This came up in Pile 1's reading too, The Secret of Camelot, The Authority of Spirit. Which sounds to me like going on a journey, whether it's spiritual or you're going on an actual trip. Whether it's physically or chemically, that's none of my business. Alright, so that concludes my reading for Pile 2. And now we have Pile 3, if you chose the Smoky Quartz. And the Druid Craft deck, this is your reading. And these cards are a little bit too big for my hands and kind of tricky to shuffle them. But we'll make it work. It's way too cool of a deck to not at least try. Set that to the side. Well, so the card that flew out of the deck is the Star card, which is usually the card of wishes coming true and hopeful new beginnings. It's also the Aquarius card, so either you could be an Aquarius or the person that's on your mind might be an Aquarius, or have at least placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Doesn't have to be, though. No, if I get a bunch of Swords cards that come up right away, then we'll know it's Aquarius, because Swords is associated with air energy. That one didn't thoroughly shuffle. I'm sure this is very funny to watch. Somebody whose hands are too small for the cards. But I'm still making it work, because I want to make sure it's thorough. Alright, so for pile 3, overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. So that, to me, is the card of feeling, you're feeling very trapped right now in the situation that you're in. And it's followed by the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And the Justice card. So you feel like there's a situation where maybe you feel like something's very, very unfair and unjust in your work situation. And it's making you feel really trapped. And you're trying to remain hopeful about either things getting better or just having your eye on a new job or that justice will be served in some way. Like maybe somebody pulled something shady and it's unfair to the rest of everybody else and you're waiting for them to get caught up in their crap. That's at least the initial feeling that I'm getting here. And I really should have looked this up, so there's different cards exclusive to this deck. So it's like the equivalent, this is like the equivalent of the Temperance card, and it's spelled F-F-E-R-Y-L-L-T. So it's like a Celtic type of word. So, yeah, that typically has to do with balance. I feel like you think that your work-life balance is not where it should be. Like, you're overworked and burned out is what I'm thinking. And now we have the 9 of Cups, so that is like that tells me that there's a wish coming true for you. So if you were trying to get a different job or possibly make something work out at your current job, it's saying that it's gonna come true. And if you're laughing and thinking, ha ha ha, it's not gonna work out at this job, well then it's encouraging you to go look for a different one, and where you are right now is not worth it. Not yelling at you, I'm just, you know, saying what I feel like you must be thinking, trying to read your energy. 10 of Cups, oh, that's that's nice. So I feel like if you're with the love of your life right now, when you have this change in your work-life balance or your job, you're gonna have the dream relationship with them that you've always wanted. And if you're single or not involved with somebody, it's saying that you're gonna find your person, but it's gonna be after you switch jobs or after this big change happens with wherever you're employed. Like, the timing is gonna work out in that sense. I would say within 3 months of when you leave that job and you get a different job, you're gonna meet the love of your life if you're not already with them now. And we've got the Wheel in the reverse. Your current situation is blocking you and you feel like you don't have the freedom of expression right now. 8 of Wands, fast communications coming in. You're gonna hear back about that job interview soon. 7 of Wands in the reverse, okay. But then you're gonna find out that you didn't get the job. However, my intuition is telling me that you are still gonna get a different job soon, but it won't be that one that you're thinking about that you just applied at. You're not gonna get it because there's a better one waiting for you. And we've got the 6 of Cups here, so that's the nostalgia card. So maybe you're reflecting on your childhood and missing the way that things used to be. Well, who doesn't? Because adulting sucks, right? But maybe the person that you're thinking about might be somebody that's from your past, but that you didn't necessarily have a relationship with in the past. Like someone that you know, but maybe not real well, like you didn't know them real well or on that level, and you're seeing them in a different light, or going to in the very near future. And we've got the Magician card. So that one, that's like the boss card to get. Like, that's like having all 4 elements balanced. Elements balanced. That sounded weird together. And it's about alchemy, like turning a crap situation into something great. Like, you're about to be in a very powerful place right now, but you feel drained at the moment. Like, it's coming, but you have to make that change to get there, and you're working on it, and it's frustrating, because you feel really run into the ground. I'm just gonna make some room for more cards here. So we've got the 6 of Wands, and then the 3 of Wands in the reverse. So you're gonna receive victory by forging ahead versus waiting on your current situation to change. Go you, and that just totally lines up with the Magician too. Let's see what else it can tell me. Princess of Cups. I think that's like the beginning of a new emotional connection, or the person that you're thinking about could be a water sign, possibly. Yeah, you're gonna meet them after, like, you go through a major shakeup, probably having to do with something related to work, or, you know, your work situation. Changing jobs, possibly. But right now, there's no communication at the moment. Ooh, and we've got the Ace of Cups. That's new beginnings, usually with love and relationships, dealing with anything emotional. Yeah, I just think that, you know, you have walls up and you have your guard up because you feel like you always have to be on protection mode because you don't feel happy and you don't feel fully safe. So I think once you make those changes to get rid of the stressful, toxic things in your life, then you'll be more open to receiving your new blessings that are coming towards you. The 4 of Swords in the reverse, so you'll go into hiding mode for a little bit, and then when you pop back out and start socializing with the world again, things are gonna happen for you very rapidly after that rest period. And I feel like you're asking me if there's a timeline, or maybe Spirit's telling me to tell you that. So we just had a card with a 4, and we've got the 4 of Cups in reversed here. I think in the next 4 months, there's going to be rapid change, especially in 4 months from now. Could be 4 days or 4 months, but I'm feeling like you'll find something out in about 4 days, and then something major will change in 4 months, so it's May right now. So we'd be looking at late September or so. So I think late September is going to be very significant for you. And we have another 4. Maybe I just didn't shuffle these cards good enough and it's a fairly new deck, but if it was meant to show up like that for you, something strong with the number 4 here. 5 of Cups in the reverse. I feel like that came up in the last reading. You know, where you're grieving the loss of something. You're gonna go through some crap in the next 4 months, but once you come out of it, you're gonna be the happiest that you've ever been, for real. So, pile 3, we'll, get some oracle cards for you. This came up in the last pile too. We have the Green Man. So that's talking about all things nature. I mean, if you're giggling over there thinking about weed, well, whatever helps. Um, but it's encouraging you maybe get more plants, get outside more, anything that involves nature and plant life. You've been wanting to do it, but you just haven't actually gotten up to do it. If there's a park you've been wanting to go see, or you've been wanting to go on a hike, it's encouraging you to do so. Oracle cards or not, that's just good advice, period. Sacred Journey. Introversion, seeker of self-knowledge. So you might be leveling up spiritually. I think your crappy work situation is blocking you right now. I'd laugh if you're all happy at your job and I'm totally wrong. Well, then you might want to pick another pile. But I feel like you're being blocked because you're so bogged down from something toxic and unhealthy, and once you move on from it and jump to your next step, you're gonna, like, level up spiritually majorly over the next 4 months. Boom, explosion, like, wow, you're gonna be enlightened. It's on its way. We have The Secret, the unknown mysteries and wonders. That sounds like you're gonna be doing a lot of, spiritual, going within yourself spiritually and finding out a lot about yourself that you didn't know before. Well, so that, concludes my reading for today of the sun going into Gemini. My goal is I'm gonna try to do this every 2 weeks or so. Extra bonus if I can get the energy to do the readings weekly. I'll at least try to do them once a month, but every 2 weeks is the goal. Well, I hope you got something out of these readings. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope Mercury retrograde doesn't get you down too much. Well, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.